Hello and welcome to Ecoholics. So once again we are meeting in the live session. Today we'll discuss about the digital payments. And digital payments are important part in order to revive the economy. How we can use these digital payments to actually get back our economy on track. Now these digital payments in India are controlled by NPCI, that is National Payment Corporation of India, under the guidance of the Reserve Bank of India. So supervisory authority is RBI as always. Now there are certain issues like especially in the adoption of the digital payments. Now if we see the data, the target population is 700 million. It means roughly 70 crores of population is the target of the government. Now the target started with the Digital India program, especially we can say it expedited after the demonetization of 2016. So after the demonetization, government started focusing more on digital payments. Now why? Because government want Indian economy to be cash light, or what we call the less cash economy. So it is not the cashless, it is the less cash economy, because cashless economy is, we can say, far concept to implement, because it is nowhere near the reality. So cash we need, but less cash means cash light economy. So the target is the 70 crores of the population. But I would suggest that if you see the India's level and the people living below the poverty line as well as people living at the substantial wages, now the aim should be 50 crore of population. So aim must be of the government that 50 crore. Now if you see, because India is having a widespread poverty, the second one is the consumption pattern is also very different. The third thing is about the digital digital penetration or digital reach of the devices as well as the internet. So these are the three reasons that restricts us that government should aim towards the 50 crore of the population. Now for the examination purpose, what are the important points we have? Now if we categorize these three category of about the 50 crore of the population, or we can say 500 million of the population. Now if you see the category, the number one category is all about the active users. So those are using actively, so that stands around the 100 million. The second type of category is about the casual users. So we can say the around 250 million. And the third category is, we can say, the people which are majorly focused on cash. So these are, we can say, cash users, that stands approximately 150 million. Now if you see the important term for the examination purpose, now we need to target which one. So if you have any suggestion, you would tell me that government should target which one. गवर्नमेंट को एक्टिव यूजर्स को टारगेट करना चाहिए, कैजुअल यूजर्स को, या कैश यूजर्स को? इमीडिएटली गवर्नमेंट को किसको टारगेट करना चाहिए? whom should target the government? Now if we see that there are certain kind of requirement, like suppose for example that immediate focus should be on these casual users. Why? Because they are having the smartphones, they are having the debit card, they are having their economic strata in order to pay utility bills, etc., via the digital payments, that is UPI. After UPI it helped a lot. Now if you see these kind of digital payments, digital channels are important. Now the most important thing here is about the transaction. So there must be a secure transaction action and there must be certain grievance redressal. मैं आपको हिंदी में बताता हूँ. जो मेन टारगेट है सरकार का जो डिजिटल पेमेंट्स को है वो 700 मिलियन पॉपुलेशन है, मतलब लगभग 70 करोड़. डिजिटल इंडिया एक इम्पॉर्टेंट प्रोग्राम है जब से डिजिटल पेमेंट पे काफ़ी फोकस किया गया है. डीमोनेटाइजेशन 2016 के बाद कैश लेस और लेस कैश के दो स्लोगन चले थे, जिसमें से इंडियन इकोनॉमी के लिए लेस कैश इंपॉर्टेंट है. इसका मतलब कैश लाइट बनाना है हमें इस इकोनॉमी को. अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, अकॉर्डिंग टू एक्सपर्ट्स, द टारगेट शुड बी 50 करोड़ टारगेट होना चाहिए था, क्योंकि इंडिया में वाइड स्प्रेड पॉवर्टी है, कंजम्पशन पैटर्न डिफरेंट है और डिजिटल पेनिट्रेशन और जो इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी है वो इंडिया में अभी इतनी दूर दूर तक नहीं पहुंची है. तो इसी वजह से इसको एनालाइज करते हुए, रिसर्च करते हुए 50 करोड़ इस पे मैंने टारगेट बनाया. अब उस 50 करोड़ के टारगेट जो हैं उनको एक्टिव यूज़र्स को आप देखें तो वो 100 मिलियन है, लगभग 10 करोड़ है. फिर कैजुअल यूजर्स होते हैं जो मतलब उन्होंने शुरू में तो यूज़ किया था बट अब उनको वो यूज़ करते हैं या ये बार बार यूज़ नहीं करते हैं. तीसरा टाइप के यूज़र्स होते हैं जो कैश यूज़ करते हैं, जिनको कैश देने में आसानी होती है. अब हमको टारगेट किसको करना चाहिए? कैजुअल यूज़र्स को. क्यों टारगेट करना चाहिए? क्योंकि ये वो टाइप के यूज़र हैं जिनके पास मोबाइल फ़ोन्स है, डेबिट कार्ड है, वो इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रेटा के उस लेवल से आते हैं जो डिजिटल पेमेंट, डेबिट कार्ड ये सब अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं और जो डिमांड कर सकते हैं रेगुलर पेमेंट्स उनको करनी है लाइक यूटिलिटी बिल एट्सेट्रा. सो इट मीन्स मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द मिडिल क्लास पीपल. Now if we see the active users, all the youth are actually the part of the active users. So all the youth comes under the category of active users, and all the pensioners and the people are very senior in their age as well as senior citizen, that comes under the category of the third one. The most important thing here that we need to make a secure transaction, as well as if there is any requirement we need to provide grievance redressal mechanism if the customer experiences unhappy experience about the transaction. Now obviously it also invites certain kind of risk as well, and time to time we need to actually remove this kind of fear from the mind of the users. Now generally what's the trend? Suppose for example, if you see there's a fear, that fear of losing money. So if your money is losing, it means that you will not do the online transaction. What's the fear? Suppose you are having certain meal in a restaurant and you actually transact with your debit card. What will happen if the slip don't come out and you'll get the message of debit? Obviously that money will credited and the next morning or maybe at that particular time as well, but you will opt to have cash or COD. Now we see the ordering of e-commerce website, ordering anything on e-commerce website. What people prefer, if there's a cash on delivery available, they prefer the COD. Otherwise, if these kind of e-commerce websites are offering 2 to 3% off cashback, especially using cards, UPI or any other thing like debit card, internet banking, etc. But still people prefer COD. Why? Because they also opt COD just to check the quality, quantity before make the payment. But most of the e-commerce website, you know that they don't allow you to open their packet, obviously, and they have a good return policy. So return policy is good. So that is why we can say that obviously there must not be any technical glitches if there is any chances of refunds as well. So you can understand that these kind of things are obviously provided to all the citizens. But the main problem, the debit card in India is used only for withdrawal from ATM. अगेन मैं आपको हिंदी में समझाता हूँ. जैसे कि डिजिटल पेमेंट का एक फियर है इंडिया में कि कहीं पैसा फंस ना जाए. मान लीजिए आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हैं, वहाँ से आपने कोई भी चीज़ ऑर्डर की है, उसके लिए आपने ट्रांजैक्शन किया है. मान लीजिए स्लिप निकल आती है, स्लिप नहीं आती है पर अकाउंट में से डेबिट हो जाता है, तो लोग सोचते हैं इससे अच्छा तो मैं कैश ही दे देता, तो पैसा अगले दिन आता है, उसी वक्त आ जाता है. बट ये एक हैसल क्रिएट करता है। जनरली ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट से आप देखें कि अमेजोन या फ्लिपकार्ट ऐसी ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट से जब आप ऑर्डर करते हैं तो कैश ऑन डिलीवरी ज़्यादातर लोग उसको अडॉप्ट करते हैं, बल्कि अगर 2 to 3% कैशबैक भी मिल रहा है कार्ड या यूपीआई या इंटरनेट बैंकिंग ट्रांजैक्शन पे, बट स्टिल पीपल प्रेफर सीओडी। क्यों? क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं, देखते हैं कि पैकेज में क्वांटिटी या क्वालिटी देख ली जाए कैसी है। बल्कि अगर आप देखें तो ई कॉमर्स साइट्स का रिटर्न पॉलिसी और रिफंड पॉलिसी बहुत ही अच्छा है, तो उसमें ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम आती नहीं, बट स्टिल पीपल प्रेफर सीओडी। जो डेबिट कार्ड है इंडिया में वो सिर्फ विड्रॉल के काम आता है, एटीएम से पैसा विड्रॉल कराने के, जो कि एक अच्छा साइन नहीं है, क्योंकि डेबिट कार्ड के बहुत सारे यूजेस हैं। Now we'll see the what RBI can do, what NPCI can do. So we'll see the steps what RBI can do. RBI क्या क्या कर सकता है। अब RBI has been responding positively, like suppose what RBI is doing, RBI is issuing certain guidelines, certain circulars, certain notifications. तो आरबीआई समय समय पे गाइडलाइन, सर्कुलर और नोटिफिकेशन जारी करता रहा है, जिससे कस्टमर्स को सेफ्टी होती है। सो सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी ऑफ देयर ट्रांजैक्शन, तो उनके ट्रांजैक्शन की सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी भी होती है। तो इसी वजह से जो डिपार्टमेंट्स है, रेगुलेटरी डिपार्टमेंट्स, वो पॉलिसी अच्छे से फ्रेम कर सकते हैं। नाउ व्हाट आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट देयर मस्ट बी टू इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉलिसी regarding we can say concerning two major problem. The number one is the transactional security, and data privacy. Now here comes an important point for your examination: data privacy. You remember that in economic survey that data about the data, there was a chapter, and the other one we have is grievance redressal. इसका मतलब होता है कि कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, so how they will solve their problem. The first one is transaction security and data privacy. तो हम इस पे थोड़ी सी बात करेंगे. Now to protect the we can say customers from unauthorized transaction or unauthorized sharing of data, third party data. Now what we can do, these are certain kind of services available to the consumers. Like for example, the first one, the payment card confirm EMV standards. Now what's the meaning of EMV standards? EMV standards are same like if you have a chip on your debit card. तो आजकल जितने भी डेबिट कार्ड आ रहे हैं उस सब में वो चिप होता है, ऑन चिप इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट्स लाइक यूरो बैंक, मास्टर कार्ड एंड वीज़ा, दिस इज अ फुल फॉर्म EMV. EMV स्टैंडर्ड का मतलब होता है जिस भी कार्ड में चिप लगा है उसको EMV स्टैंडर्ड बोलते हैं. Now the second suggestion that all the card must have this EMV. The second suggestion is all the cards should be, all the transaction should be multi-factor authentication. तो जितने भी और कार्ड्स जो भी ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहे हैं उनका मल्टी फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन होना चाहिए. फर्स्ट एट CNP, दैट इज कार्ड नॉट प्रेजेंट, देन सब्सिक्वेंटली फॉर CP, दैट इज कार्ड प्रेजेंट, एंड फाइनली फॉर डिजिटल चैनल्स. तो ये 3 जगह पे मल्टी फैक्टर ऑथेंटिसिटी इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. The third one is about the mobile alerts. Mobile alerts like SMS. If you pay anything due to core banking solution, core banking system to the customers, every entry, debit or credit, that will be informed by the SMS. The third one, that there must be certain cap over the transaction, especially depending on the mode of the transaction. So the bigger amount is not under threat. Like suppose you will put certain kind of limit for UPI wallet, put certain kind of limit on internet banking, debit card, etc. So this is helpful in saving any customer from fraud, etc. The fifth one, that is E. Now for this we need to provide certain acceptance terminals like the cards and Aadhaar card. So if you link these kind of two important cards, that would help the consumers to know the exact status of their transaction. And the last one is about the data localization, and this Data localization is a very important question for the next year's examination. They may ask about what is data localization and what is the RBI policy on data localization. So data localization, simple thing, suppose a foreign company, suppose Visa. Obviously Visa is collecting certain amount of data from our country. So data localization policy of RBI suggests that whatever the Visa collecting data in India, they should store the data of Indians only in India. They cannot store in USA. So this is what we call the data localization. ये data localization का मतलब है. Now you know that there are certain kind of other factors, like banks are having certain regulations for the card facilities, as well as cooperative banks. If they want to offer the cards, they actually require certain kind of license for lending out the mobile banking. So there's obviously certain kind of factors like two-factor authentication, as told you earlier. But where we can say, a lot of e-commerce companies were saying that this two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication will actually hurt the consumers of e-commerce. But what happened after the implementation of multi-factor authentication? Actually, the e-commerce digital transaction went up. So it means the more secure you make your network, more safety you provide to the consumers, they will more move towards the digital payments. So this is the correlation which we can draw from this. So you can happily write that if you increase the safety, it will result in increase in the digital payments. The next is the second one, that is the grievance redressal. Now what is grievance redressal? Under grievance redressal, we can say RBI always provide these kind of the facilities. So we have the list of, like for example, that RBI is having the good amount of availability of ombudsman for any fraud, any transaction that actually not successful. So ombudsman scheme is like a customer care. The second thing is 24/7 call center that provides the solution for any failure in this transaction. The third one we have is the zero liability of customers. So zero liability of customer, especially for unauthorized digital transaction. So that gives actually the more assurance to the payers as well as the transactors, that help the payment facilitation for the consumer's perspective. So zero liability for customers for any unauthorized digital transaction. The next one is about the TAT, that is turnaround time. It means if there is any failure in the transaction, that particular payment should be credited into the account of the debtor or etc. So we can say that these kind of things will help. The last and the next one we have is the we can say that there's a board of RBI. If there are certain big complaints, then these complaints should be actually should be offered or should be placed before the board of the RBI, and that is the complaint position board, and thus provide the assurance of that these digital payments will not become a failure. Now, in addition to this, just to increase the transparency, customer care and customer call service is always an important. Now at last, what I would like to say that UPI, Unified Payment Interface, is, we can say, a trustworthy service given by the government to all wallets. So we have a lot of wallets. You must have known these names like Paytm, like Google Pay, Phone Pay, etc. But here we can say that India is moving towards less cash, and how this less cash will reflect into the achieving the $5 trillion economy target by the year 2024-25. Now this target is very vital, because if you use less cash, it means that cost of using cash will go down, and if the cost of using cash goes down, what will happen? That multiply the credit into the economy, and that will solve the problem of liquidity in the market. So these kind of interconnection is very very vital. तो ये सारी चीज़ें करने से जो लेस कैश इकोनॉमी बनेगा, उससे जो कॉस्ट ऑफ यूजिंग कैश है वो कम हो जाएगा, और इकोनॉमी में क्रेडिट का एनहांसमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा होगा. तो इसी वजह से बस मैं यही कहना चाहता हूँ आज के लेक्चर में कि स्टार्ट यूजिंग डिजिटल पेमेंट्स, एंड दैट इज़ very very beneficial for you as well as for the economy. Now if you have any doubt, you can ask. Now for RBI exam, that is DEPR, Department of Economic Policy and Research, is a good exam. It's, I think in November, 9th of November if I'm not wrong, and there are certain kind of numericals they will ask, so you can always ask on my number 7223946092. This is my WhatsApp number. This is 3946092, and you will find this number on our website as well, so ecoholics.in. And if you have any query, any doubt, a wish, you can always contact on this number. Send me some numericals, I'll tell you the solution for that. You're most welcome. If you have any doubt, you can ask regarding RBI examination as well. So again, this is a session. Daily we are meeting at 10:30 p.m. from Monday to Saturday, based on the current economic discussion and analysis. So this is the main, we can say we are meeting for Monday to Saturday, and no session on Sunday. 10:30 p.m. sharp daily for current economic analysis. Mainly we take the analysis. If there is any news, we discuss that particular news of a newspaper. And RBI is formed under RBI Act of 1934. That RBI Act converted RBI on 1st April 1935 as the Central Bank of India, and that in 1949 RBI became nationalized after the enactment of the Banking Regulation Act. So 1949 nationalization. So this is the history of RBI. So that's it for today, and if you find it useful, please don't forget to subscribe Ecoholics and share with your friends. This is a daily live session, so they will also get the benefit from this. If you appreciate this, please do comment in the comment section, so that it's like a reward that I'm getting from you. So that's it once again. Thank you so much. Good night.